Hello, my name's Chris and I play the Lightkeeper in The Lightkeepers.
Hello, my name is Luke. I play the role of Hope here at the Lightkeepers in Shanghai.
Hello, my name is Jim Fish. I play Wayne in The Lightkeepers in Shanghai.
My agent phoned me up and said, are you interested in auditioning to be part of a established musical in Shanghai? And I was like, well, yeah. He was like, well, they've never had an English cast perform this work before. And I think the opportunity for me, the opportunity to live and work in this city and work on this script was too good an offer to be true. So when I got offered the job, it wasn't difficult to say yes. That's my story.
Nice.
Yes, I'd agree with that. Working away is always a really big perk of this job. You get to meet new people, travel the world, experience culture. And once I read the script, I found there was a lot of themes in it that I really identified with. Themes of love, of loss, of journeying, of searching, friendship. And these are all wonderful things to explore as an actor and really dig deep to find character and relationship with.
And an ethos I kind of live by is something my mum taught me when I was younger, is do something you'll love and you'll never work a day in your life. So being able to just keep on being an actor and performing on stage for people, you really I think it's really important we all have theatre in our lives. So for me, that is a big deal. I think it was a lovely story and it was very touching, but the themes weren't just really simple themes, and I think that's where I think some writing can be overcomplicated, and I think don't fix what isn't broken.
Yeah.
A tale between three people who come from completely different backgrounds, I think it's something we can all relate to in our own lives, and how we can create friendships no matter where you're from is the beautiful thing about the story.
Three men of different ages and backgrounds, as you said, all looking for something, all have lost something, have a friendship and love between them, which is unusual but also very tender. You don't often see that between three male characters, and men need to be loved, and men also have stuff that they keep bottled up, and when you find people that you can release that to, it's a powerful thing.
I think what attracted me was kind of the diversity between the three of them is really exciting, and the theme of hope is really important in this story. The theme of loss as well. There's a lot of loss that I think all three characters touch on in different ways, and I'm trying to think of another incident in the theatre where you'd have three men who talk so honestly and openly about things they've lost or things they want to do. That's what's so beautiful, and it's a simple, gentle, but very affecting story. I think it's watching friendship grow is a really beautiful thing. I think lots of great stories are based in other places, like, William Shakespeare, an Englishman, wrote Romeo and Juliet set in Italy. I think the greatest thing for me personally is the chance to originate a Chinese story in the English language. I think a great story can come from anywhere. As Jim said earlier, we tell a great story here. I see it more as a privilege to be the first group of actors that tell the story from an English perspective.
Yeah, I think that was also the exciting thing about the job as well. That was the draw towards it as well. It was how much of an honour it was to be given the chance to perform an original Chinese musical in our own language.
I agree with those things. We're performing a story that is based in England but is perceived by a Chinese writer. So we've kind of put a double twist on that by then performing it in English afterwards. So it's kind of an interesting process of it kind of evolving as it goes along.
Yeah, I guess because of our the way our culture is driven back at home, we do have a slightly different interpretation of how our character would feel, because I guess we have different, slightly different morals, maybe slightly different ways of living. So each thing that happens to each of the characters will affect us in a different way.
Yeah, we work closely with
Yes.
Big Cat, who is an actor and a translator. He's in the King's Table, and he worked on the translation, but we worked with him when we got here, and Steve, the director, and everyone really. We all kind of worked together on making it feel more English, just kind of making the language feel a little bit more grounded, using a lot more slang, some things that a lot of Chinese audiences might not have heard before, but is quite authentic because you have 3 native British speakers that have a good grasp of the language. So it was a really wonderful collaboration, actually.
Yeah.
So I've done a few things that are kind of similar. I've done some site-specific theatre. So I did a Tempest in a park, so it's all outdoor, and it actually rained on us the whole time, quite a few times. I did Alice in Wonderland in a big mansion, and also kind of a promenade experience, so the audience move from room to room, but it's kind of immersive in the fact that the audience are right here, right next to you, so it feels very intimate. You're kind of almost talking directly to them. You know, it's not a big performance. You have to take your performance right down, actually, for it to kind of really resonate and hit with the audience. Otherwise, it's a bit too much.
I've done a couple of immersive pieces as well.
Immersive.
Yeah, I did. So Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd, yeah.
Was immersive. I think called Yeast Nation, where I played the oldest being on earth. So I'm still playing now. Not immersive to this level. This is another level, I think. I can't think of anywhere in the UK that is quite as detailed as this. I think what is great and what is a challenge about working in this immersive style, it's like you're being filmed, and so no one in this room will miss anything you do, like a camera never misses anything you do. And so the challenge and the excitement about this is to remain in moments, to remain active and engaged or alive in a story, because you can see through the set and because it's not a big room. I'm fairly sure it'd be exciting for an audience member to experience as well, is to watch people living their lives. We're all people watchers, aren't we? You know, we'll sit outside the Semi-Colon Cafe and just be like that with people.
Yeah.
Everyone loves doing it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You can learn so much.
But what's great about this is that you can watch people's lives, but they also sing really well as well.
Yeah. I've never worked in immersive theatre before. I've very much only ever worked in traditional stage production. So for me, it was a bit of a challenge. I was like, oh, you know what, I've got to remain on the ball constantly. Like, I don't get to go off stage, apart from like, I think 2 moments in the show. But even in that moment, I do feel that I can't really relax because I haven't got time to really relax. Like, I've got like 2 minutes and then I'm back on, and I'm kind of like thinking about what my character's journey is when I then step back on the stage. But I like what Chris said. I think it's so exciting feeling involved with everybody rather than feeling separated from an audience and the actors on stage. When there's no action sort of happening and nobody's saying anything, it's so interesting to, I think, watch. I think the lightkeeper in the lighthouse just sat writing some notes in his notebook or something like that. I think it's really interesting to watch what an actor puts on the outside of the script as well as in the script.
I think the reason that I have a big emotional release is because he's been on a very long journey, and I don't want to give too much away. He finally realizes he's achieved something he wants to achieve, and maybe going home isn't about going somewhere to a different location. So I think there's that, and then of course there's the struggle he's having with his health, and then the battle he has to save his ship. I think the last 10 minutes of my show are very, very emotional because I have to say goodbye to someone that I care about. Then I try to save someone else's life, and then and yada yada. And also it might be because I'm relieved that I've remembered all my words.
I think my favourite lyric is in A Man Like Me. It's when I say, someone foolish like me, someone hopeless like me, just at that moment before there's been an exchange, and hope has left the stage. So I am hope less. I don't know whether that works in the Chinese interpretation, but it always strikes a chord with me there. It's a tender moment. It's kind of realizing that I've yet again lost someone that's important. And I think a line that I think holds a lot of weight is, if you give everything to someone else, then what's left for yourself? You can read a lot into that in lots of different ways. You know, you have to give yourself a lot of self-worth. I think to always be growing as a person, always exploring yourself, exploring your mind, and being open to other ways of thinking is a good way to live.
I think I relate a lot to Hope in ways. I think I'm quite an upbeat kind of person that tries to see the best in everybody and tries to see the best in the world. You meet him for the first time and he's this big energy ball that comes into the room and it kind of lights up the room. And then you learn about his dreams and his aspirations and his goals in life, and these are like adventures that he wants to go on. And then it kind of turns around like gradually throughout the play, and it all just comes crashing down on him. And you kind of see the world for what it is, and it's not sunshine and rainbows all the time. It's, you know, there are good and there are bad, but you can either choose to let the good and bad make you or break you. And I think that's an important thing that Hope realizes with the Lightkeeper. He does a lot of growing in a short space of time. Especially at the end of the show, he almost becomes a man.
A message for you wonderful people is, on behalf of myself, Jim,
Luke,
Chris,
we'll see you on the beach.
very, very soon.